This video is a quick tutorial on how to evaluate a fraction order of operations problem. So the first thing we have to remember is our modified PEMDAS. So it is P E M D A S, and then the one thing we added this year was FB. So we have to remember that the P stands for any grouping symbol, not just parentheses. So we have regular parentheses as a grouping symbol. We have square brackets. We have absolute value bars. All of those are in our P. Our P no longer stands for just parentheses, it's also a grouping symbol. Then our E stands for exponents. Our M is for multiplication. We use a dot for this, not an X. Our D is division. And we have to remember that multiplication and division are done left to right. So when you look in your problem, you're going to go left to right in your problem doing whichever one comes first, multiplication or division. Then our A stands for addition. Our S stands for subtraction. And you have to remember that this one is also left to right. So it's not addition first, it's not subtraction first, it's whichever one comes first, left to right in our problem. And then very last is FB, which stands for fraction bar. So the very last thing we'll handle in this problem is the fraction bar, remembering that all fractions are just division. So at the very, very end, we will handle fraction bars. Okay, to start this problem, we have to remember a few steps. We have to remember that we want to start at the top of every single one of our fraction bar problems. We're going to get it down to a single number, and then we're going to move to the bottom and do that step by step until the bottom is down to a single number. And then our last step, our third step, is to divide or simplify as needed. So let's start with our top. We're going to start at the very top of our problem. So I'm going to put a star there to remind myself I'm starting at the top. And I look and I have addition, multiplication, and subtraction. So when I look at my modified PEMDAS, I see that multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. So I am going to circle that multiplication because that is what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to go ahead and evaluate what 6 times 3 is. So I've got 8 plus, and our 6 times 3 is 18, so that's going to be 18 minus 2. Now, a lot of times students want to just drop off the bottom of that fraction, but you have to remember that that is called math magic. You cannot separate out our problem. So we're going to go ahead and rewrite the denominator so that we don't forget, and when we're done with the top, we have to do the bottom. Okay, so now we're still at the top. It is not down to a single number. So we have to look, and we have addition and subtraction. Well, our PEMDAS says addition and subtraction from left to right. So if I go along left to right in my problem, I run into addition first. So I'm going to go ahead and do the addition at the top. I have 8 plus 18. So I have 26 minus 2. And I cannot lose the bottom of my fraction. I still have in parentheses 5 plus 1 times 2. Okay, so then I take a look at the top of my problem again and I say, no, I do not have a single number up there. So once again, I have to finish off the top of my problem. The only thing left is 26 minus 2. So I go ahead and do the subtraction, and I get 24 all over, can't lose my fraction bar, in parentheses, 5 plus 1 times 2. Okay, so yay us, we have got the top of that fraction down to a whole number, one single whole number. So we are ready to move to the bottom. So when I look at my order of operations over here, I see that I have parentheses and multiplication in my problem. Well, guess what? Parentheses come first. It is a grouping symbol. All grouping symbols come first. So I have to rewrite the top of my problem. I cannot lose it. It is a fraction problem. It must remain a fraction. I go ahead and evaluate 5 plus 1. That is 6. And I still have times 2. So since the bottom is not a single whole number yet, I must go ahead and continue simplifying the bottom. So I rewrite the top of my fraction. It is 24 still. And I evaluate 6 times 2, which is 12. And so now I am very happy with myself. I have the top as a single whole number and the bottom as a single whole number. So now I have to move to step 3. Step 3 says divide or simplify as needed. Well, I'm always going to try to divide first. If I can divide and get a whole number, I'm going to divide. It's the easiest way to do it. So either using my Mental Math Ninja skills or my handy dandy calculator, I am going to say 24 divided by 12. We have to remember that the fraction bar means divide. So I'm going to draw an arrow to that just to remind us that our fraction bar means divide. So 24 divided by 12 does give us a whole number of 2. And that is my final answer. I am done with my fraction bar problem.